Hi everyone, it's me, Marla, again from the North Riverside Public Library. I'm back for my third installment of modern cooking with the slow cooker, or the crock pot, as many of you may know it as. Um, Mine is not a crock pot brand. If you've been watching this, I've talked to you guys a little bit about brands, about when it makes a difference and when it doesn't. I have no idea what brand this is. Honestly, no clue. Um, it is old, very old. It's not like 1970s old crock pot, but it's pretty old. It's a good 10 years old, but it still works great. It works just as good as the first day I got it. So whatever brand it is, wherever I got it, it works just as good. Today we're going to be making spinach artichoke dip. Dip is one of my favorite things to make in the slow cooker because it's really easy to transport if you're bringing it to a party, bring it to like a Super Bowl party, anything like that. And it has the keep warm function, of course. We also talked about how the Instant Pots have a keep warm function too. Instant Pots also have a slow cooker function. So if you have an Instant Pot, you don't exactly need both. You don't need an Instant Pot and a slow cooker. But if you're like me, I cook a lot. Sometimes I will cook multiple things a day where I need the slow cooker for something, and then I'll make something else in my Instant Pot while I'm using the slow cooker. So if you cook a lot, or if you plan on bringing multiple dishes somewhere, it wouldn't hurt you to get two. I've just had this forever. Honestly, if I had to choose, I would probably just get a second Instant Pot because I love it that much. But I still do love my trusty slow cooker. So, spinach artichoke dip. We're going to use 2 packages of cream cheese, 2 cans of quartered artichoke hearts, rinsed and drained. The rinsing is up to you. Definitely drain them. You don't need all that liquid, but the rinsing up's to you. If you don't rinse them, your dish will have a little more salt in it. Some of you might like it salty. It's not going to be overly salty, but if you rinse them, it'll be less salty. So it's up to you. It's up to your health concerns. It's just up to you how you like your dip to taste. We're using mozzarella cheese and grated Parmesan cheese. I have Parmesan Romano. It's just what I have in my fridge, so I'm going with it. Spinach, of course. You can also use frozen spinach. I guess you could use canned spinach. The most important thing about using frozen or canned spinach in something like this is that you want to make sure that it is drained and pressed. You want to get all that liquid out of there. So if you're using frozen and you thaw the bag, there's so much of that green watery liquid. You need to get rid of all of that because your artichoke dip is going to come out really watery. So you could just strain it with a cheesecloth, really. That's probably how I would do it. But I prefer fresh spinach. I just like the taste of it better. I don't really care for the taste of frozen or canned spinach, although I do like frozen vegetables usually. That's all for the main ingredients. I have some sliced pickled jalapenos that I'm going to add to my portion of the dish because I like jalapeno spinach artichoke dip. And then we're going to be eating it with some leftover Hawaiian buns and some carrots that have been like hanging out in the fridge and I really need to get rid of them. So I'm going to cut them up and we're going to use them instead of crackers or chips. Okay. So my slow cooker, you basically on mine, which most of them have just very simple functions. It's not like the Instant Pot where we're going to have 10 million buttons and functions. We have a cook time, and mine, it's right away. It's going to tell you 4 hours or 6 hours on high, or you can go over to 8 hours to 10 hours on low, or down to the warm button. This is just to keep it warm. And an off button. That's it. So much different than the Instant Pot, right? So we're going to keep it off for a minute, and we're going to add all of our ingredients. I'm going to pour in my spinach first. Yes, we're going to use the whole bag. It's an 8-ounce bag of spinach. My favorite thing about spinach is that you can use a whole entire bag, and at the end of your dish, it's going to be like this much spinach because it shrinks, right? On top of that, we're going to pour our artichokes. These are quartered. I like big chunky artichoke hearts. If you don't, feel free to chop them up. It's up to you. That's the beauty of it. You do what you want with it. Okay, so that's already kind of weighed our spinach down a little bit. You can see it's not as tall. Okay. Next comes the cheese. And this is a really simple ingredient one. Like, we could make an artichoke dip that has so many ingredients in it. I'm going to use all this cheese, why not? You know, you can use this much garlic and this much minced onion and this much. Like, if you want to chop up some red onion and you want to throw it in here, go for it. You can't go wrong with that. If you want to throw some garlic in here, go for it. I am just showing you a very simple, straightforward recipe so you guys can get in here and use your slow cooker for something. And if you like this, then it might inspire you to go onto Pinterest or go onto another website or to come into the library, curbside of course, and pick up a slow cooker recipe book. If I can help one person cook more at home and eat less junk fast food, I'm all for it. Okay, so we have all of our cheese in. It's going to be so cheesy and good. I mean, not that this is that much healthier than fast food, but I'm a firm believer that if you're cooking at home, you're at least one step ahead. This is hard to open. All right. Oh, this one was frozen. So I freeze my cream cheese. You're really not supposed to. It affects the quality of your cream cheese. Like, your cream cheese will crumble when you do that, but I buy it in bulk, so I really don't care that much. It doesn't affect the way it tastes. It doesn't affect the way that it melts. I use it like this in cheesecake and whatever I need to. I've never had a problem with it, so I don't really mind. The most important part about this part of the recipe is that you want to like make your cream cheese into smaller chunks so that it's easier to melt into the dip. I almost did like a buffalo chicken dip for this episode instead, but I really wanted to do something that was a little more universal for people. You know, buffalo chicken dip kind of has like a specific audience. I feel like this appeals to a little more of a broader audience. It's a little more of a classic. All right, so I'm just cutting it up into cubes. They don't have to be super small cubes. just enough that it's going to melt a heck of a lot easier. And voila. Literally, that's it. So like I said, you could add whatever you really want to. You could add diced jalapenos at this point. You could add the garlic. You could add a crap ton of salt and pepper if that's what you want to do. I'm not big into salt. There's already a lot of fat in this recipe, so I think I'm eating healthier by skipping the salt. Not really, but anyways, so now we're gonna put our lid on and we are going to cook for high on 4 hours. Now this recipe doesn't need 4 hours. If I was gonna be making like corned beef and cabbage, I'm going to slow cook that for like 10 hours. I'm going to make that as tender and slow cooked as I can. This is a dip. I really don't need to do that. It's on 4 hours. I'm probably going to cook it for 2 and check it. If you cook it for the whole 4 hours, it's not really a big deal. It might be a little thick. If something like this is a little too thick for you, you could go ahead and add in some milk and sour cream. That would kind of thin it out a little bit without sacrificing the flavor. But yeah, so I'm going to cook this for about 2 hours and I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. And then I'm going to go through a special recap of all 3 episodes, the air fryer, the Instant Pot, and the slow cooker. Okay, so I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so we're back. It's been about 2.5 hours. Disclaimer, I did stop to stir the dip about an hour in, and it was super thick. I did use over a lot of cheese, more than I normally use. So disclaimer, I did throw about 16 ounces of sour cream into it, which helped thin it out like a lot. So this is what we have, and it looks really good. Let me Spinach Artichoke Dip. So I'm gonna put some on a bun on a plate. So everyone can see. Like I said, definitely adding in this 16 ounces of sour cream really thinned it out. I used so much cheese, which is okay. I love cheese, but it was just really, really thick. So again, you could take this to a Super Bowl party. You take it to any party you're going to. Even if you're just going to somebody's house and you want to bring a dish. And then you're just going to switch over from your cooking time over to the warm function. Keep your lid on. And that's it. You're going to keep it warm. You're just going to stir a little bit as you go so it doesn't stick to the sides. Mine's a non-stick. Most people's are. If it's really, really old, your non-stick coating might have worn off. So it doesn't hurt to give your insert a couple sprays of oil, wipe it down with some butter first, or you can use these really cool crock pot, like slow cooker bags. They're actually like liners that go inside, and you can make your dish in them, and then you can throw it out so it's minimal cleanup. I just do it the old-fashioned way, even though I hate dishes. So this was the slow cooker episode. We went through all 3 appliances over the last month. We started with air fryer chicken wings. We moved into Instant Pot mac and cheese, and now the slow cooker spinach artichoke dip. Um, of all 3, my favorite is the air fryer because I use it so much, and I think it's the most convenient because I have kids. The Instant Pot's a close second, only because it doubles as a slow cooker, and it's faster. So I can do the same slow cooker meals, but in an Instant Pot, quicker with the same results. I used to use my slow cooker all the time, but the Instant Pot kind of changed my life. But yeah, you guys can find recipe books for all 3 of these appliances at the library. We are starting curbside pickup very soon. We're starting curbside drop-off, so you guys can return everything first. But curbside pickup is going to be coming really quickly after that. So you can find recipe books. We will help you find them. If you can't find them at our library, we'll help you get them. You can always contact me, or you can look on Pinterest, you can look online, and just have fun with it. If you guys fail the first time on a recipe, it's not a big deal. Start with really easy, really cheap things so you don't feel bad wasting food. And it's all about practice, and eventually you will fall in love with the appliances like I did. So this was really fun, and look forward to seeing you all for whatever programming I plan on doing next. Bye.